Whoa, how about that theme song? What a theme song it is. That's the franchise theme by Henry Papali and Jason Anthony Harris. Shout out to Jason wherever he might be tonight. And listen, welcome to episode number 176. Seven.
No, you had
Oh, I was right. Okay, 176 of the franchise with your host, the D-Train, Daniel Scarenberg. That's right, it's still October. It's mid-oct, the spookiest mid-month of the year. And over there in New Jersey, the spookiest state in the nation, except for Florida, Henry Papali.
What's up, everybody? That's right, it's H-Bomb. It's certainly the spookiest county in New Jersey. I'll say that. There's a lot of red. So you could say a lot of blood for the spookiest month. That's for sure. And speaking of that theme song...
Wait, hang on. Surely the spookiest county in New Jersey is County Crystal Lake.
Well, that's a good point, but I if my research into fictional geography is correct, that is located not far from where I reside. So it might, yes, I believe it is within the vicinity of Ocean County.
All right, now, I'm speaking of Jason.
Yeah, well, the thing is that theme song was composed by somebody, and boy, it would be cool if he would come back, because October we've kind of had a tradition of having him on. He's been on for Halloween and for Nightmare on Elm Street. So
usually in the third week.
Yeah, exactly. That's been weird too. I wonder if we could. Who is that? Somebody...
Hang on. I'm going to hook up my official Exorcist II: The Heretic telepathy detector. I'm going to put it on and let's see if we can sense him in the room. Okay.
I'm going to focus too.
Okay, focus really hard. All right. Put the weird thing on your head.
Yeah.
All right, it's on there. All right. Let the record show that Henry just mimed putting a thing on his head. And Jason Anthony Harris. Jason, is he there? Wait, is that him thinking?
Voices?
It's something. I hear it in my head.
What is this?
Jason?
What? Yes?
Jason?
Me? This me? Am I talking to me?
This is I think we've set up Skype call recorder to be able to record brainwaves today. And
is that Daniel Scarenberg?
It is Daniel Scarenberg. Thank you for calling me by my proper October name.
And that must be Henry Papali, who I don't have a clever name for.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, this is amazing. This is right inside my fucking skull.
Someone requested Henry poop on me. How about that?
Oh.
I don't think that's
You don't think that's spooky enough?
We should keep that one.
Yeah,
I think that could be your name all year round.
I really do. I really think we could be more creative with that. I could steal Scare and put it in Aurelian for my middle name. I could be Henry Scarelian.
No, that does not work. Hey, you still there, Harris?
Yeah, what are you guys talking about today?
This is episode 176 of the franchise, and we're talking about Poltergeist and Poltergeist II: The Other Side. I don't know if you've seen either one of those movies recently, or perhaps made lists for the corresponding years.
I did this weekend. I don't know what compelled me, but
holy shit!
I fucking did.
Henry, have you been using this telepathy machine for a few days now?
I have been using the machine for whoever could listen, and I think I reached Jason Anthony Harris.
Don't you be referencing that magic munchkin to me.
Hey, I also I wrote a new theme song for the show.
Did you really?
Yeah, you want to hear a song? It goes, God is in His holy kingdom. God is in His holy. How's that?
That was good. That's
good.
from
Use that every week.
I think that could be a great theme for whenever we talk about theology on the show.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Keep trying.
We're
Back to the drawing board.
We're going to cover silence soon, so that'll be good.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, welcome, everybody. It's Jason Anthony Harris, everybody.
Yeah, we sufficiently introduced him. Let's
Yeah, I think
let's
so.
get
Move
into
on.
it. Well, no. First of all, I want to ask Jason before we move any further. Tell me about what's going on with your work currently.
What is going on with my work? I'm very busy.
He's a noted
I-
musician working under
I-
the pseudonym Public Speaking.
That's correct. I just finished an album and released it. It is called Six Golden Tumors. It came out a couple months ago, and I've been doing a little touring. I'm around the Midwest, and now I am doing some East Coast dates. I have a couple Brooklyn dates locally, and then I'm going to D.C., Baltimore, and Philly next month as well.
Ooh,
So
where are you playing in Baltimore?
I am playing at some like DIY art space house show there called Trophy House.
Huh.
Who knows?
I'll ask around. I've
have
been
no
to a lot
idea.
of venues down there, and
All right.
you'll be at a Come On Everybody in Brooklyn this Wednesday. That's right.
That's right.
All
Wait,
right.
no, Tuesday.
Fuck.
That's tomorrow night. Yeah. I'm
Well,
doing that
it's
tomorrow
it
night.
might be tonight when the people are listening to this. So
tonight, folks. See you there.
check it out. Get down tonight. Let's talk about.
Hey, I will be at the Philadelphia show. How about that?
Is that true?
Sure.
Oh, are your creepy fans gonna come? I mean, your awesome fans gonna come?
I'm bringing a truckload.
All right.
Do we have creepy
Phil-
friends?
No. No. Jason.
If so, you just told them where you'll be at my Philly show. So if they
Oh,
want to
that's a
work
good
hard,
point. If anyone wants to see Henry Papali in person,
It's
Henry
actually
Papani.
November 14th. November 14th at the Pharmacy. It's a coffee shop / music venue in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
You want to meet and greet with
Yeah.
Henry Papali? Pay the admission. And, I will meet you and introduce you to my friend Henry.
Henry likes it when you come up behind him and give him a hug before you say hello.
He's a big fan. He loves that.
Yeah, you know what? Did you say it was in Philly, right?
That's right.
Okay. I thought you meant Philadelphia, Mississippi. I will be down in Mississippi this week.
Oh, you're not coming. Oh.
Oh no, I thought your show was in Philadelphia, Mississippi. That's where I thought, and I'm closer to that area, being from the South, like I am. So
All right.
I'm sorry, I won't miss that
This sounds
extravaganza.
spurious. That's a word, right?
Yes, one
I
of my
get
favorite.
it mixed up with scurrilous sometimes.
Well, they have kind of similar meanings. You could say this report sounds spurious, or you could say that's a scurrilous report. Yes. Dan usually corrects me on grammar, but I'm pretty good on vocab. So there you
It's
go.
good. You got everything covered.
Yeah,
We try.
yeah. Between us, we're a functioning human. All right, let's talk about it. Another spooky movie for October. This is we're starting a new franchise. We're breaking off a new. I lost steam on that one. We're covering Poltergeist, and that's directed by one Tobe Hooper. All right,
Is it Tobe or Toby?
Say it, right?
I think it's Tobe.
I hear when I look at the name, I hear Toby, but you could be right.
I feel like there
don't
should,
know.
if it's Toby, there should be some sort of weird line above the E. Is it Tony Loke? I don't think so.
That's a good point. Should have like an umlaut over the E. Toby.
No umlaut. Connect those dots. You got it. Poltergeist by Tobe Hooper. Steven Spielberg producing and writing, along with pals Michael Grace and Mark Victor, two nobodies. And, there's a lot of reports about this film that perhaps Steven Spielberg actually directed it.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually feel that was probably the case upon this viewing.
It seems to be, and it seems like a lot of actors have said that as well.
Yeah, but a lot of actors have not said that too. Like it seems
yeah?
like it's all over the map. Like Zelda
really is.
Rubinstein insisted that it was all Spielberg, and then there's other people like Craig T. Nelson that said like fuck it, like that was Hooper's baby.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some bullying going on. You think Spielberg is a little bit of a bully?
No, I think Spielberg is a brat. and and
He was on set every day, I'm sure. You
well,
know,
I
giving
actually have
performance.
information on that, Henry. Steven Spielberg. So there was a looming director's strike at the time this movie was being made, Directors Guild, and so Spielberg had to choose between E.T., the extraterrestrial, and Poltergeist, and he chose to direct E.T., but he was on the set of Poltergeist every day except for 3 days. And on those 3 days, he was on vacation in Hawaii with George Lucas. I'm not shitting you.
There must be a recording somewhere. of that.
There is. Frankly, I have a recording right here.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Holy shit!
I
All
knew
right.
something because they like to, they like to get their conversation.
First of all, they
That-
love to talk on the beach. We've encountered them
really
on the beach
do.
before.
It's like every conversation on the dark web of them is like them in the sun.
So here's another one. They're building a sandcastle.
I'd love to hear it.
And here it is.
Okay.
Steven,
Yeah. What's up, George? How you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm working on my new film, Revenge of the Jedi.
Oh, so you're going forward with the Empire? So are you going? What do you think? You going to sit in the director's chair for it?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're just going to be kind of involved.
I've got those merchandising rights, baby.
Well, speaking of the merchandising rights, George, I hope you don't mind, but I had this new movie coming out, Poltergeist. We used a lot of
Steven, I'm aware of your new film Poltergeist, and I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor, okay?
Sure.
Can you please put 19 Star Wars posters in the little boys' room?
Guess what, George? Because we go back a long way, Georgie boy, it's already done.
Okay, well that's great, but as long as you're doing that, can you also put an Darth Vader toy, a C-3PO light switch, maybe a Yoda toy, and also a Luke Skywalker toy that the little girl can sleep with?
That all sounds doable. I threw in a tauntaun to help post-promote Empire Strikes Back. There's a tauntaun in one of the shots. I directed the film, so I could kind of do whatever I want. I mean, I kind of hired this guy to, like, stand there and pretend like he's directing, but...
Who'd you hire?
This guy who did this Texas Chainsaw Massacre in '74. I don't know. The producers kind of thought, like, some other producers kind of thought he might be a good name to throw in there. And frankly, I'm involved with E.T., and that's my real baby. So I needed kind of a stand-in for me. So, but he's just he's high a lot.
Yeah,
So
I don't like his work because it doesn't have space aliens or classic cars.
he's very violent. He's very violent. But, he's a nice guy. I'm kind of letting him think he's going to do the main stuff. So it worked out well for me.
Steven, can you also put a poster of Wolfman Jack in the house?
If I can get my hands on one in post, I'll put it up.
If you
Sure.
don't, you're dead to me.
Wow. Oh, George. Look, Ridley called me up recently, and he wanted me to try to get Alien in there, and I was able to do that for him. So I'm sure I could do it for you.
I like his movies because there are space aliens and classic cars.
There are. He's Ridley likes outer
Steven,
space.
can you pass me my shovel?
Yeah.
And that's
sure.
it. And that's the end of the conversation. They
Wow,
went
it
on
just
building the
upgrades the show.
sandcastle after that.
It just cut off after that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's weird. It's like the Nixon tapes. They could shut it off whenever they want. It just doesn't keep going. It's fascinating.
Is that what
All
happened
right.
with the Nixon tapes? Or they're weird? There's like missing time, right?
Well, I actually had it backwards. The system used to be that they was able to shut it off. That's what JFK smartly had. Turning it off, turning it on. Nixon said, no, just let it record. Let it keep going.
Let it roll.
Let it roll, baby. And that's what did him in, because it kept on rolling.
Nixon was a completist. He was an early completist. All right, so Tobe Hooper, right? We heard on the tape he directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's still, the thing he's most famous for. But he did the Salem's Lot miniseries. He did Life Force, which I find very funny. And what else? Body Bags. A bunch of movies.
I hadn't seen
House.
anything.
Funhouse.
I've never seen the Funhouse. Is that
It's a
good?
good one. Yeah, it's a good one. And I have to say, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, is one of my favorite films. I think it's excellent. It's fucking horrifying.
It's a
second
masterpiece. We honestly,
It
we
is.
probably should have covered it this month.
It was gonna be that was like kind of that was gonna be it, but we decided to break it up. I've never seen it, so
You have to see.
What?
But
I
the second
never-
one,
I would have insisted if I knew that.
I'm sorry.
the
Yeah.
second one is terrible.
I've never seen the
And I
second
recently
one, and
learned
that's
that he directed
Yep.
it as well.
that's a Tobe.
Which brought him into, is very suspicious, like, as far as his skills.
Interesting,
Oh.
interesting. Maybe someone who was behind the scenes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I think that was probably a case of just, he's young. It was maybe his first film. I don't know. If it's his-
He had
very
directed
early
some.
on.
According to Wikipedia, had worked with Peter, Paul, and Mary before that on a documentary.
right before they all got chainsawed.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What an
Right.
ending to that would be. Only Mama Cat. Oh wait, no, that's fuck.
Wrong group, but good.
Who are they?
But-
the Mamas and the
Mamas and the
Papas, of
Papas.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
right.
All right.
Choking on a chicken bone.
Is that how she
Chicken
died?
bone? She choked on a sandwich, actually. But when
A
I was
ham
little,
sandwich. That's right. That's
right. But
that's
when I was
spooky.
little, it is very spooky. But when I was little, somebody told me it was a chicken bone, so I always have that implanted in my head. Yeah.
Did you know that one time I went to Applebee's and I ordered this steak dish, right? And it was what do you call it? It's these little balls of steak. You know what I'm talking about?
No
Steak
idea what
balls.
Steak ball, riblets. That's what they were called, riblets.
Okay.
Okay. And I ate the entire plate. I had 2 riblets left. And in the second to last riblet, I found that there was a little plate of bone inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And somebody told me that is in all of them. There's a bone in all of the riblets. And I had eaten the entire plate not knowing this. So I swallowed an entire plate of bones.
Wow.
So how about that? That's some
That-
spooky stuff for you.
That got better at the end because up until then it was really riveting. But then at the end, when I realized you swallowed
Well,
the
he
whole plate of bones,
survived. It's
He survived, yeah.
miracle. It's
Mhm.
not.
Yeah.
He didn't pull a Mama Cass.
No, I survived. I'm better than Mama Cass, and it was rough going for the rest of that night.
That is a really scary story.
Thanks, bro. I was also right after a Bright Eyes concert at Town Hall, so you'll be loving
I
that
just
detail.
I'd rather swallow the bones than sit through that shit. I just came up with a name for Jason. It could be Jason Scaris.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then we got the Scarenberg and the Scaris.
I don't care.
Yeah,
'cause I
is
just-
that the only spooky word you know?
That's all I know. I came up with Henry Boo Boo Papali.
What? Where's the boo boo come in?
Boo!
But if you put 2 boos next to each other, it sounds like you're talking about Yogi Bear.
That's scary. in its
No,
own way.
no, Yogi
That's
Bear's
very-
nice. It's wholesome family fun.
Is he the one without the pants or without the shirt?
He doesn't wear pants.
But does he wear a hat?
No.
Are you
No.
sure?
No
Oh,
hat.
Yogi. Yeah.
Yeah, Yogi's got a hat,
Oh shit.
like
Kinda-
a green
kinda
hat.
scary. I'm liking Boo Boo. I'm gonna go with Boo Boo.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Boo Boo's voiced by Justin Timberlake. So let's talk about Poltergeist. We've got it. It was released June 4th, 1982. Big summer release. A budget of $10.7 million and a box office of $121.7 million. What a hit it was. Number 8 at the box office for 1982. It did slightly worse than 48 Hours and slightly better than The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Wow, that classic.
Can you
Holy
imagine a movie with the word whorehouse in the title making that much money? To be in the top 10 of the year.
That's amazing, man. Especially it's like 1982. Now it's like no one would give a shit. But I feel like that must have been. I always found that title kind of shocking for the time. I mean,
But it's about the best one.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It's good.
but best
It's
best to
denigrating.
whom? Because like, you know, that could mean like to the normal world, it's like the classiest little horror house in Texas. But I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the best little horror house in Texas to someone who's disgusting.
Like the best service.
That's right.
Maybe, but if it was called the worst whorehouse in
Also, the
that
best
would
in
be good.
Texas. How good could it even be?
The best little horror house in Texas.
Yeah.
Dot.
Only 60% of them have C-section scars. Henry, this film is on a couple of AFI lists, so let's talk about, that's right, our old friends at the American Film Institute.
Here we are.
Henry, you want to maybe hold the phone to the microphone so that the other people can hear it?
That's a good idea.
Like the people who are listening to this.
I forgot that this week wasn't like the 2 weeks ago when I didn't have a mic, so I was yeah. Here we go. Let's do that again. Take two. This is not one of AFI's greatest moments.
There we go. What a beautiful song it is. Two lists here. Poltergeist, according to the American Film Institute, is the number 84 most thrilling movie of all time.
Oh boy.
All right.
What number? 82. You
84.
said? That's okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
I think it should be higher. I was
Do you?
thrilled by this.
Oh, we're already getting into the review. Okay. All right.
All right. And I'll tell you what. Give me a high five, Henry.
Uh-oh. Boom.
Number 69, best quote. They're here. Great line.
Sure,
That's the
sure.
quote, 2 words.
I feel
Yeah.
like I prefer this house is clear. Or clean?
Clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah.
This whorehouse is clean.
No, it is not.
It's in Texas.
This whole house is clean.
All right. 1982. Let's talk about that year. I've got a new list for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it one was nominated for other things.
Oh, you know what? It happens to have been nominated for some Oscars.
And BAFTA.
Well, can we? Oh, right. Fine. BAFTA. It was nominated for a BAFTA. Go ahead.
You see how annoyed he gets? I love it. It's so great. All right, here we go.
The British Academy of Film, Television, and Arts. BAFTA.
I did like it. I don't remember that at all. I don't feel like I've ever heard that before.
It's one of the quieter ones. That was recorded on March 26, 2018, the day Beethoven died.
Oh God, I see. Well, I see where
he
you
lived
took
a
the
long
influence
time.
from. Hey, so it won a BAFTA award. It was nominated for the best visual effects. This was actually the first time that the BAFTAs gave out a visual effects award.
Really?
Yeah, how about that? And
Wow.
Poltergeist was the winner. It beat the heavily favored E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Oh, that's good. All right. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, you happy with that?
I am, actually. That's good news. Anytime E.T. loses anything, I'm thrilled.
Well, is it nominated that often for stuff?
E.T.?
Yeah, I mean, like it came out like 40 years ago now.
They're the same year, dude.
All right, whatever. You're not getting what I'm giving out here. All right. It beat Blade Runner, E.T., and Tron. Those were the other nominees.
All solid choices.
Great
yeah.
stuff. Let's get into the Oscars.
All right, let's do that, and in honor, we will be playing this song.
Oh, LibertyMutual.com. Hey, you guys fans of the Limu Emu?
No, I hate it.
I think there's some unresolved sexual tension there. Hey, nominated for sound editing, visual effects, and score. But I'm sorry, it lost all 3 to E.T.
Yeah, Yeah, that's too bad.
Sorry about
That's
that,
too
Henry. That's where the ET bias comes in.
Well, that's why I said what I said earlier, because I knew that E.T. Swept Poltergeist there. So
I
that
feel like every time one of those awards came up, Spielberg at the Oscars leaned into Tobe Hooper and just said, "Amateur."
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
can we do the 1982 list now? We've got 4 lists because 3 people on the podcast this week, plus our old friend, the Blockbuster book.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Blockbuster chose 11 movies from 1982 to talk about, and who you want to talk honorable mentions before we get started?
Sure.
What are your honorable mentions, Henry?
I only have one honorable mention, and that is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Okay, and what are your mentions?
Who's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the other guy. My honorable mention, I got a few. I got La Balance. I got The Plague Dogs.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's good, but God, it's fucking sad with the dogs and the experimentation and all that. Oh.
I don't like
But
anything
it's
involving
animated.
dogs. I just watched fucking Candyman, and I'd forgotten that a dog gets its head chopped off in that fucking movie.
No, I don't remember that part. Candyman
Wait.
holds up really well.
Really well.
It really does.
Super ahead of its time.
I've also got Scrubbers, Identification of a Woman, and only because of Meryl Streep, Sophie's Choice.
Okay.
Because that movie is fucking terrible, but she is amazing in it. And I'm not even like a Streep head or anything.
Not a Streep head over there.
No.
My honorable mentions are Gandhi, Das Boot, and The Last American Virgin.
Oh, I gotta see Das Boat.
And Blockbuster's honorable mention is The World According to Garp, where Robin Williams is magnificent in his first serial comic bid. All right?
Disagree, BBV.
I think he's
Oh
great.
yeah, you do? Okay. I thought
like
about
that
watching
movie.
that this week.
That movie's
You
good.
might like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the minority.
It's too
Most
long.
people think it's great.
I saw that movie for the first time, I think, on television, and it was like 6 hours long with commercials. All right, who wants to go first? Number 10.
Jason, you're the guest of honor.
All right, number 10 is Veronica Voss.
What? What is that?
Never heard of it.
Veronica Voss?
Yeah.
It's this guy, this German guy that's escaping me right now. Fassbender.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not well versed on Fassbender.
You don't really have to be.
Oh.
That's why it's number 10, and I'm not too crazy about my bottom 5, I think. So
Okay. Henry?
Leave it to Jason Anthony Harris to be the only person to make me feel less educated on cinema than Daniel Scarenberg. All right. My number 10, a new addition here.
It's a real Bobby Brown situation?
Yeah, it's humping around because it was a theatrical release reviewed by many movie critics, and that is Richard Pryor.
This
Live on
sounds
the Sunset
spurious.
Strip.
I don't know.
No. It's a movie. I
That was in
actually had.
theaters?
I saw it had the DVD, man, and it was
That
really.
doesn't tell me anything.
It was reviewed by Ebert at the time, and I remember reading the reviews.
I had a DVD of Paris Hilton's sex tape. It was boring.
No, this is a film. It's a concert film.
Okay.
Yeah.
My,
One of Richard Pryor's films. Richard Pryor Live on the Sunset Strip.
my number 10 is Diner. All right?
oh,
Okay. All right.
That is classic Cars. George Lucas would like it. Number 10 for Blockbuster is The Verdict.
Ooh.
Yeah, Paul Newman is simply great. And director Sidney Lumet gives his film a sharp edge. All right? Great stuff. Henry, number 9. Or Jason, number 9.
oh, right. I'm going first. My number 9 is, I just watched this the other night. It's The Night of the Shooting Stars.
I
Anybody?
don't know what the fuck that is either. What's going on here?
It's an Italian film. It's like a World War II film, but it's really good. It's really charming. It's beautiful. It's a little boring, but I would recommend it. It actually made me order some bread the other night. It was that Italian.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
Started craving bread and olive oil, and that's what I seamless some.
But is it as good as the best Italian World War II film? Life is a beautiful.
Yes, I much prefer it to that.
Bellissima. The paper. I'll take the paper.
I don't like them roasted red pepper flakes. You gotta
Oh,
keep
so you
them
have-
off my pizza.
You have seen The Night of the Shooting
is
Stars.
that?
So those
I
are the
have.
quotes right
I
from
needed
the
that
movie.
impression needs to go up a notch, right? Like the vocal, the timbre.
It's gotta be more like that. It's gotta
That's
be
better.
roast-
You're right.
roast- This house is clean.
I enjoy that. Henry, what's your number 9?
My number.
My number 9 is a movie I really liked as a kid, and as far as I know, it still holds up. I saw it not too long ago. That is Creepshow.
Oh yeah, it's good. Are you watching that new Creepshow anthology show?
No.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
watched the first
Did
episode
you?
of it. I was at a friend's house and they had it on. It's really bad. Really
That happens
bad.
to me all the time. Just like at a friend's house, they've got Creepshow out.
They get shit on. All right, well, they did.
All
Believe
right.
it or not, I was in Chicago. Blame Chicago.
I do.
Number 8.
Oh, 9.
Burden-
No, come on.
Oh, sorry. What did I do?
You skipped all of us for number 9.
Did I?
Yeah, you said you're number 9.
Wait,
Wait.
Henry said it's number 9.
I have not yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
My
ahead.
number 9 is Cat People by Paul Schrader. And Blockbuster's number 9, Tootsie, one of the funniest movies of all time. That's what it says here.
God, it's. I feel like I'm trapped in a cinematic hellscape where E.T. and Tootsie are bookending me forever.
Sometimes
It's like-
I feel like I live in an alternate universe where the Tootsie that I'm watching sucks, but the Tootsie that everybody else is watching is like a masterpiece.
Maybe we're trapped in the same universe. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only explanation.
Well,
Maybe
Tootsie's
we've seen the wrong
timeless.
cut.
It's timeless. It'll never age. It'll never be outdated. Social mores will never change enough for us to be disgraced at awarding Tootsie so much.
That's a good point.
We loved it. It was Tootsie, of course, Oscar nominated for Best Picture, Actor, Supporting Actress, Director, Screenplay, Cinematography, Sound, Song, and Film Editing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, number 8. Jason.
All right. Number 8. I'm sure this guy was a big Tootsie fan. This is Burden of Dreams.
Oh, sure. Okay, that one I know. That's about the making of Fitzcarraldo.
A
Now,
film that I wonder if Henry's seen.
yeah, Henry. Have you
Yeah,
seen
what's
that?
up?
Have you seen Fitzcarraldo?
What's Fitzcarraldo again? Now
It's
that's
a Werner Herzog movie about an opera house in Fiji.
Oh, there's a documentary about it. You should probably check out. It's called Burden of Dream.
Yeah.
Is that the film that I actually own and have been meaning to get around to for a few years?
I think Fitzcarraldo is, yes.
Oh yeah, right.
Henry seen Fitzcarraldo. 9. He has not.
Still no.
One of these days, everyone's going to get a big surprise.
Anyway, Burden of Dreams is fucking great. It's like as good as Fitzcarraldo.
You know, it bleeds together in my memory with My Best Fiend. So I had a hard time ranking it because, I watched
I love that one. I love that. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that is good.
I
Henry,
think
what?
that someone who loved that film had watched Fitzcarraldo.
Well, I
Excuse
saw
me.
My Best Fiend on a double feature of that and Aguirre Wrath of God in theaters.
Oh, that's a great film.
That is a great film.
Yeah, it was-
Henry, you don't like that movie, right?
What movie?
Aguirre, The Wrath of God?
No,
Oh,
I love
okay.
it.
I had that wrong. Sorry. What's your
No.
number 8, buddy?
My number 8 is a movie starring Christopher Reeve.
What is this now? Michael Caine is not involved in the Poltergeist movies. I gave you some rope with your Zelda Rubinstein thing.
I'm able to slap the bass, and I'm able to snap the bass whenever he wants. Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine in Death Trap.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. My number 8 is The Road Warrior.
Oh, shit.
All right. Number 8 for Blockbuster is the aforementioned Sophie's Choice. This movie features the most heart-gripping moment in movies of the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Jeez.
Streep's finest achievement to date and is arguably the greatest performance of its decade. How about that?
That's a really, really, really big claim.
Yeah.
It's of the 80s, though. I mean,
Yeah, we weren't really making serious movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
No, there were none.
the best little whorehouse in Texas, the best performance of the 80s.
Who's in that? Dolly?
Yeah. Dolly and Bert, right? Isn't Bert in
Bert's
that too?
in that fucking thing? Then I want to
think
watch
he
it.
is.
Can we cover Smokey and the Bandit soon?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Number 7, Jason.
Number 7 is White Dog.
I fucking love that movie. It's higher on my list.
Good. Yeah.
Henry, what's yours?
I'm very happy to represent a portion of our audience who is uncultured, unsophisticated, and knows nothing of what you two are ever speaking about.
Number
I'm the
7, Tootsie by Henry Papali.
How dare you? That's very cultured. It won 20 Oscars or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm with like John Simon and Andrew Saris, and I'm like fucking Gene Shalit over here. You know, like
You mean Gene Shalit of Poltergeist?
yes.
He showed up.
My number 7 is Koyaanisqatsi.
Ooh, that's good.
All right, that's a little highbrow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My number 7 is Death Trap.
Good.
Okay. Sometimes I have to wait for Henry to vape to get a reaction from him.
No, it's we have a guest, and I don't want to interrupt him. I always defer to the guest, unlike my co-host.
Okay. Number 7 for Blockbuster is An Officer and a Gentleman, a romantic duo that lights up the screen. It's a Hollywood formula that gets a new coat of paint by the terrific performances. All right. That's right.
That movie's really most famous for its song.
Love lifts us up where we belong. Is that correct? I thought I made that up.
Yes.
I'll
Where
never
the
see it now.
eagles fly on a mountain high.
All right. So, yeah, you're really deferring to the guest. I was trying to hear what he's saying. You're singing.
I was
can't help.
singing along.
Oh,
Actually, I was
okay.
singing harmony.
Great. Oh,
We still have those electrodes hooked up so we can hear each other in our heads.
yeah.
that's right. That's right. All right, Henry, what's your number 6?
Oh,
My
wait, I
number
didn't get my number 6.
Oh, wait. Oh, right. An Officer and a Gentleman was not your number
Very,
6.
very hard.
Go ahead.
4 people.
My number 6 is The Verdict.
Yep, a great movie. You shouldn't feel bad about putting that on the list.
I think that's when I start to feel good
Okay,
about
good.
films. I mean, I like the others I like, but I don't love them, until I get to, I don't know, maybe The Verdict.
All right, Henry, number 6.
All right, number 6, this movie bumped off The Year of Living Dangerously, and because it moved up a notch, and that is Diner.
Oh, okay. My number 6 is Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains.
Oh, maybe I have that on a different year. Oh, I do. I think I make my list different than you guys. Okay.
One
I
of the
think
great
I
music
don't go with the
movies
US
ever. Okay, one of the great touring movies. One of the sexiest Diane Lane performances you ever see in your life.
Yeah, it's really great.
I don't know who I turned into there. Yeah, great. Blockbuster book, number 6, Gandhi. Okay. It's a cinematic wonder. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Lights up the screen, I'm sure.
Sure. Oh, wait. That was their number 5. I've been doing this all wrong. We'll skip them for the next one. Okay.
We've made some mistakes. I kind of made a blunder too, so I'm adjusting on the spot. It's
Okay.
82 does that to you with Tootsie and E.T. and it's not a great year.
All right, Henry. Can I hear a theme song?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm really on call tonight. Yep, here we go.
Heavy hitters. These are the grand
Good
slam,
recovery.
slap shots,
Thank
the
you.
3-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets that's close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Jason, number 5.
Oh, number 5 is The Dark Crystal. I grew up watching it. I have a real nostalgia for it, and I've watched it a few times over the years. I think it holds up for repeated viewings. I don't really have any interest at all in the Netflix series.
What are you talking about, Jason? If you like that movie, don't you want to see it expanded for 10 further hours?
No, I don't. I don't. No, thank you.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I loved that movie as a kid.
No, it's great. I actually watched it a couple months ago. It's
Yeah?
yeah. It
I don't think I've
it's
seen-
full on fantasy. So I'm at an arm's length just because I'm me. But I mean, it's beautiful. The puppetry is like
It is,
unbelievable.
Yeah, the set
Yeah.
design's gorgeous too.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Henry, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is The Verdict.
Okay, and my number 5 is White Dog. All right, Racist Dog, great movie. Number 4, Jason. Oh wait,
You going
no, I'm skipping Blockbuster for this one because I've been out of order for a while.
Well done. All right.
I must have skipped one. Oh, I skipped Road Warrior. They have Road Warrior on their list. Yeah. The futuristic setting and famous chase sequences make this a landmark production, outdoing and renewing interest in the original Mad Max. Okay. Great stuff.
Great copy.
Yeah. Fantastic. Number 4, Jason.
Number 4 is The Border.
Oh, that's Nicholson, right?
Yes, it is.
I've never seen that.
I think
neither.
It's a really good film. I've only seen it once, but
He's got
really made an
sunglasses and a
impression on-
mustache, no?
That's right. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
A mustache, so I'm on
that's,
board right away.
one of the few Nick films I haven't seen of that era.
Check it out.
No one calls him
Especially right now. That's all I'll say.
Oh. Prescient. Okay. Henry, 4.
Number 4 is 48 Hours.
All right. Great. Yeah, a lot of racism and Nick Nolte being a nut job, Eddie Murphy doing that laugh, some explosions, fun stuff. All
Eddie
right.
Murphy walking into a bar of rednecks and
Oh,
killing
yeah,
them
that's the
all.
best scene in the movie.
Fucking amazing.
Mhm.
Yes. All right.
Number 4 for me is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's a good movie. It was never like a personal favorite of mine, though. I didn't know you liked it that much.
It's great. Cameron Crowe, Amy Heckerling. It's got an abortion subplot. Judge Reinhold's hilarious. Phoebe Case's boobs. Everything about it's good.
I've never seen it. It's
Ooh.
a classic that I've never seen, yeah.
You'd like that.
All right, if it's
On
that high
Penny.
on your list, it makes me want to check it out.
Okay. Blockbuster's number 4 is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Take a ride across the moon in Spielberg's heartwarming masterpiece about the friendship between a 10-year-old boy and a wide-eyed visitor from another planet. Still the most popular movie of all time. Okay. This is written
Honey,
in
what do you want to
1989.
rent tonight? What do you want to rent tonight?
What's that E.T. thing that was coming out? I don't know. Is that the guy who did Jaws?
Yeah, it has a touching climax that will make you cry.
That's better than you. You never get a touching climax.
Oh,
What was that? A little spec script for Married with Children?
My inner Al Bundy.
Yeah. Number 3, Jason.
all right. Number 3 is The Thing.
Henry.
Nice choice.
Yeah, masterpiece.
Masterpiece. My number 3 is The Road Warrior.
My number 3 is Poltergeist.
Oh,
Poltergeist
Reveal.
got bumped. Yeah.
That's bullshit, man. Number 3 for Blockbuster is Diner. Late 50s charm and wonderful performances are the key items on the menu.
What? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes me want to take Diner off my list and put back something I shouldn't have pulled off, but that's okay.
All right, what's
Jason?
number 2? We're really getting there.
Number 2 is Has Henry Seen Fitzcarraldo?
Great stuff. Wait, I don't have Fitzcarraldo on this list. I didn't know that was this year.
Sorry, I didn't adjust for. Well, I think you guys go by U.S.
Yeah,
state.
Yeah,
I-
Dan goes by U.S.
Yeah, it
All
must be
my
like
obsessive
83 in
lists.
U.S.
Yeah, all my obsessive lists that I make at home are just original release date.
Got it. HP, what's number 2?
Number 2 is The Thing.
Okay, my number 2 is The Verdict.
Ooh,
And-
all right.
And Blockbuster is Das Boot. Riveting action. I don't really say much about it.
I mean, if I have 16 hours, I'll check it out. I've wanted to see Wolfgang Petersen's. That's him, right? That's
Yeah, of
him.
course.
Yeah.
The man who
Okay.
brought you Air Force One. What's number 1? What's the best movie of the 1982 year? Jace.
Number 1 for me is Blade Runner.
Oh, God, I forgot I would have to contend with this. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Henry, what's your 3-star number
What's
1
yours,
movie
Henry?
of the
I wonder
year?
what your number one is.
Well, you know what? Mine happens to also be a 5-star masterpiece, and that is Blade Runner. That's right. That's right. 2 against 1, mofo.
All right. My number 1 is The Thing. And Blockbuster's number
Blockbuster?
1 is Blade Runner.
Right, we're on the same team as Blockbuster.
Yeah, you feel good about that?
Henry.
The mammoth
do not.
production design and heart-beating Vangelis score make this a sci-fi masterpiece.
I think everything they describe the movie as is very true, so I can't really argue with Blockbuster. In fact, most of the time I think they are correct in their assessments of movies.
Wow. Are you getting
Yeah.
paid by Blockbuster?
Blockbuster Video, wow, what a difference.
I used to get
Oh, I
paid by
guess not.
Blockbuster, $6.25 an hour, baby.
Yeah. I had to leave Gandhi off there. I don't like that. Did any of us have Gandhi at all?
I had
never
an
seen
honorable
Gandhi.
mention.
Okay.
Gandhi's good. It's worth watching. I don't know. Is it weird to watch now with him in like brown face?
Yes. How do they do it? How do they... It's all in how they do it, I think.
It's just, okay. It's fine. Jesus Christ.
What? Henry, what's your feeling on Justin Trudeau these days?
Wait, I in the video I see Henry has a Trudeau hat on. Is that right? Yeah, it's a
support.
Trudeau for Prime
Viva
Minister.
Trudeau!
Mm.
No,
Make Canada blackface again.
I think that I think you're very good, Dan. On let's pick on every single case by case basis, like fucking Gandhi. All right, let's leave Gandhi alone. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. It is. It's totally fine. Let's just have literally the most famous Indian man in the history of the country played by a white Anglo-Saxon Brit.
You raise a good point.
Thanks. Okay, so Poltergeist is a movie that starts not Indian, not British, but American, baby. The Star-Spangled Banner.
That is a cool intro to the movie. I forgot about that when it came on. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good. It reminded me for some reason of The Godfather, because that's when they started with, "This is America. I love America."
Right.
Remember that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I took a knee. I don't know about you guys.
What'd you say?
I took a knee.
Oh yeah.
You started this
Yeah, that's
movie
how I
on your
started.
knee.
That's how I watched.
I don't blame you, man. Good for you. I took a knee when he was reading Reagan's biography. that was far more offensive.
What was
to me.
going on in that scene, man? They're smoking weed in bed, reading the Reagan biography. And, there's this whole discussion in the second movie where Jo Beth Williams, is that the woman's name?
Yes.
She's talking to Craig T. Nelson. She's like, "You were never really a hippie. You're like a conservative at heart." And I'm like, I don't know what to believe. He's smoking weed and reading about Reagan at the same time.
She also tells him in the first one when she's about to show him the crazy chair thing. She says, "Honey, okay, remember when you used to have an open mind about things.
Right.
Just have that." Yeah.
So hippie, open mind, not hippie. I don't understand. They can't make a decision.
I think it's absolutely accurate. It's an early case of boomer turning coat and becoming an asshole.
Totally. That's it. And the transformation is complete in the second one.
Oh, it really is. Craig T. Nelson's character sucks in the second movie, but we'll get there. All right. So, what's happening? First of all, I loved that detail because I remember when television programming would stop and the Star Spangled Banner would play, which is so fucking weird now.
My wife was really confused because she's younger than I am, and she was like, "What? Why are they doing this? Why are they playing that?" I said, "Honey, this is a thing that used to happen, not all the time, but on certain stations it would happen."
How much younger is your wife than you are?
You know, she's of age. No, she's like 6-7 years younger than I am.
That was a genuine question. I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Say now, I don't remember that because despite being multitudes older than both of you guys, when they were doing that kind of thing, I'm assuming we're talking. This went into what, the late '80s and probably stopped the sign off with the anthem in the '90s.
Yeah, probably early '90s.
And I was living in Canada.
Yeah,
so
you were up there with the Trudeaus.
Canucks.
Yeah, no wonder you have sympathy for that guy. Henry,
okay,
what are you dressing up for Halloween this year?
Billy Crystal. As Sammy Davis Jr.
Sure. Holy shit, I'll tell you a movie I rewatched this week. The Princess Bride?
Never found it funny.
I was never a fan.
I never was either. This time, I was into it. But that movie has this fucking horrible ghost blowjob where it's just like all of a sudden, like Billy Crystal and Carol Kane show up for like 10 minutes as this like weird couple who live in a tree and they're real Jewy, and it sucks. It's like the worst.
And they didn't even bother to do blackface for it, which could have been better.
He's been wood nymph face.
They did Jew face, which was also a thing at the time.
I mean, it was, but it wasn't in this case. All right, they're so it's a family, and they move into this sort of planned community in California called Cuesta Verde, and Craig T. Nelson's like a real estate broker there, and they take the first house. They rent out the house next door. They're having remote control fights. What should we watch, the NFL or Mr. Rogers? And I was like, Poltergeist really has its finger on the pulse of 2018, bringing up Mr. Rogers. All right, we all decided we were obsessed with him last year.
Very true.
Coming up, right? Tom Hanks playing him.
Yes,
Yeah.
that looks really
soon.
good. Yeah,
Henry,
yes.
that director is 2 for 2, and I'm excited about that movie.
I don't know who directed. Who directed?
Marielle Heller from Diary of a Teenage Girl and Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Oh, I loved Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Oh, I haven't seen either. But I had Diary of a Teenage Girl on a list as well. I wanted to see that.
That's a hell of a movie. All right, gang. Let's talk about it. Carol Ann is the little daughter. There's a son named Robert. There is an older daughter with eyebrows. There is a mom played by Jo Beth Williams, and there's a dad played by Coach. And
True.
Yeah, they're all living in the house together. The little girl's bird dies, and we bury it. And I got to tell you, I got choked up.
Fuck out of here.
I swear to God. When they were preparing that bird coffin, and they like put a picture of the family in there.
And the blanket in case he gets cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, part of that is that what's her name? Heather O'Rourke? The little girl?
She died.
Yeah, they hired a
and that
middle-aged
she died.
little girl for this movie.
She's so adorable. And I like her delivery of her lines. I think it works really well. After they bury the bird.
She looks like, doesn't she look like Ileana from the X-Men comics? I feel like maybe they designed Ileana after Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's okay. I think she delivers her lines all right. She's her adorability it's a little grating, but
there's one bad kid actor in this movie, and it ain't her.
Yeah. No, agreed. I did like some of the stuff. I always wonder with Spielberg where he gets these families, like the ideas of what families do. You know, like Jo Beth Williams takes the bird initially and starts holding it over the toilet.
Yeah, who would flush?
Who the fuck would do that?
A lazy person.
I mean, really, I'm not even thinking in a humanitarian level. I really don't care.
I would
But,
just
like,
be afraid it would come back up. Like someone
Well,
would be just like
right.
taking a shit and then
It's
like
gonna
get up to
come.
wipe and there's just gonna be a fucking bird there. That would be
Like
terrifying.
An old wet bird corpse. Too.
Oh,
right, and you're gonna.
that's
and
a
whoever-
nightmare. That is scarier than anything that happened in this movie.
Totally. And, the way Craig T. Nelson drinks in these movies, I assuming he probably blacked out, ate a bird, and shat it out. So he'd probably be like, "What is this?"
Is he drinking a lot in these movies?
Second one, baby. He's just hanging around his kids with a bottle of tea.
Yeah, he does go to town on some fucking mezcal.
He's under a lot of stress.
He
Well,
is.
it's true.
He is. He's under a lot of stress in that second one. I feel like nobody's under stress in this one. Like, until Carol Ann goes missing, everyone's just like, yeah, we got ghosts.
Yeah, true. They seem a little excited. The wife's excited about it.
Yeah, the wife's pumped.
Just jumping up and down.
Once they discover those moving chairs, they're into it. They're running experiments. They've got a little slip and slide system going on the floor.
Yeah, it's very strange. This is one of the issues I have with this movie was like I didn't remember that the movie really goes from 0 to 100 in like no time without sort of justifying any kind of discovery. Like Jo Beth Williams has the chairs thing. She sets up the little slip and slide. And when Craig T. Nelson comes home, I don't know if it's his acting or what they told him to do, but like his reaction to when the chair moves across the floor, he's kind of completely nonplussed. And then when Carol Ann slides across the floor, he just kind of sighs, and you almost feel like it's going to be a joke where he's going to go, "Oh man, we really planned this house poorly. It's on a slope." And he just kind of doesn't react at all and just kind of like, "Oh,
It's a
ghosts."
laconic performance, not in a bad way. I actually like the character he creates here. I think Craig T. Nelson's really good in these movies.
I think he's good. It's just a lot of times in these movies, they do a good job of setting up the mystery and the.
I think this does a great job of that. The thing is, like, I really feel for this family. I like the family. I get the dynamics between all of them. And it does go from 0 to 100, but I don't mind that because that gives us, like, the first half hour of the movie to sort of hang out with his family and get to know everybody so it actually means something when weird shit starts happening. Later that night, after all that chair sliding, there's a fucking evil tree that tries to kill everybody, and then a fucking closet swallows a girl, and there's a tornado. All at the fucking same time. I didn't remember all that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. What about you there, Harris? What'd you think? What was this one?
I liked the setup a lot. I didn't find it to be too slow. I was interested in the characters, and I thought they were all fun. I thought the writing was good, and I think everybody's giving really good, genuine performances.
Spielberg's another one of these writers that, like, you're a good writer. Why don't you just generate your own material?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he used to write a lot in the 80s. A lot of these movies that he produced, and some of the movies that he didn't direct, like Poltergeist, are among my favorites. And, like, at this point, like, the only thing he's written in, like, 30 years is AI.
Yeah.
Well, then that's great.
I mean,
Yeah.
these days he's, like, directing the BFG, and, like, what are you doing, dude? Write
true.
something.
Writing, I mean, not that directing isn't hard. It is hard, but it's like a group effort as well. Writing, maybe he just doesn't like it. It's like a solitary, unrewarding thing.
So write it. Write something with Willard Hyuk or whatever. Like, I mean, what's it? Spielberg's next movie, he's doing West Side Story. Like, what is the point? What's the aim there? Except for some Oscars, which will be ridiculed.
Yeah. Talk about fucking
that's awful news.
That is awful news. Talk about fucking racism. What the hell's he gonna do with that fucking thing?
He's hiring all Latino actors, Henry. Have no fear.
Great.
Yeah, that won't help.
A lot of unknowns. So once Carol Ann goes missing, we get Craig T. Nelson talking to the police, and he gives everybody's ages, and I found this very shocking.
The little when he interrogation thing, yeah.
No,
But it's not with the cops.
With
It's
the
with
investigators. With
yeah,
the
it's not with the
paranormal
cops.
people. at the university.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But did you notice that he said that his wife is 32
Yeah.
and his daughter is 16?
Oh.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't do the math.
Did he
right?
impregnate this broad in high school?
It very well sounds like it. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my.
I
Listen,
didn't do the math on that.
As
Now
far
it's
as
true.
I know, they're doing pretty well for themselves, actually. I mean, if that was the case.
Right.
That's a good point. They didn't ruin each other's lives. Yeah, it's true.
Although, as we find out in the next movie, they had a pretty laid-back, grandmother situation to help.
Oh, yes, they did. And the 16-year-old is sort of like, I don't know, she's doing questionable things. Remember later in the film when they say, oh, we're going to go to the Holiday Inn. It's out on, I-60 or whatever. She goes, oh, yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah,
Mother
yeah.
goes, what?
Did you happen to notice that in the last scene of the movie, she's got an enormous hickey that no one comments on?
No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I don't. Maybe everybody else turned out okay, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
She would have worse bruises on her neck in life, I would think. That's right. She was strangled and murdered.
Jesus Christ, was she?
You didn't know that?
What? You don't know about the poltergeist curse, Jason?
Oh.
I heard about it. I only really know about the youngest. About,
I
Heather
didn't really
O'Rourke.
know about it either. And so the entire
My
movie,
God.
I'm watching it going like, well, I know some of these actors. Like, what? I mean, how many of them could be cursed? Like, did Craig T. Nelson get, like, raped on the set of Parenthood or something? But,
Well, Dominique Dunn was, she was stalked and murdered by her then boyfriend. It's a horrific story. And I remember her dad, Dominic Dunn, was really big on the OJ thing. He came out. That's how I know him.
excuse me,
He
her
was a-
name's Dominique and her dad's name is Dominic?
Thank you. 'Cause
I don't
couldn't
care
get
for
past
that.
Yeah. So he became like an advocate for that kind of thing, for spousal abuse and all that. Yeah, she died. Heather O'Rourke died. We'll get to Julian Beck.
Wait, who's Julian Beck?
Second movie, the old man who talks to the little
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he died like
Kane.
the year they made the movie, right?
Yeah, but he
Right.
looks like a corpse.
Hey, he's in this movie too, Jason. You just don't see him in human form.
Great.
Right. Yeah,
We're going by Poltergeist 2 continuity.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I've always liked the movie, but I guess on this viewing I was just a little disappointed on the hokiness of it. I hadn't remembered how hokey it was, and I was disappointed.
Speak on it. How is it hokey?
I just found a lot of first of all, I found it a little bit too saccharine, some of the dialogue between the characters, and it sort of jumps up in between.
You don't like that it has heart.
I don't particularly mean that it has heart. It doesn't have heart. I just felt like it's not scary. The effects are kind of garbage.
They're of the time.
Oh, see,
I like
the effects are
except
no
for the
wor-
cartoon one.
The only effect I don't like is the stuff flying around in that one room.
Yeah, the cart. Oh, that one. Yeah,
That looked kind of bad.
That
But
did,
in
but
general, I feel like the effects are like no worse than like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but that's a comedy, and I don't think they're as creative as Ghostbusters. I really don't. I don't know. It was disappointing to me for that reason. I don't know where it like falls. Like,
All right, I'll put all my cards on the table. This is a fucking masterpiece. I think it's better than The Exorcist.
Whoa!
Yeah,
God.
I love this movie. It really holds up. It is. We watched those movies last week, and all three, Exorcist 3, Exorcist the Beginning, and Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist. And it was just the entire time, even when I was enjoying the movies, I wasn't into them. I was bored. I was sitting there. I was doing a chore. Like, I have to watch these for the podcast so we could talk about it. Poltergeist is honestly the first movie we've covered. I mean, not in a while, because I felt this way about, like, the Before trilogy. But, like, I was just with it every step of the way. I was into it. When it ended, I could have watched another 15 minutes of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a really fun movie. you know?
Yeah.
And but the thing is, I had to adjust my expectations. I remember I watched this for the first time in like since I was a kid last year, and I was kind of disappointed. And then watching it this time, kind of knowing the Spielbergian, Stranger Things vibe of it and being prepared for that, I
But
really
why
had
are we
fun.
saying? Why are
And
we
it
talking
was
about
like-
that as a negative? The
No, no, no.
Spielbergian '80s vibe is great.
Well, it's just because I didn't expect that.
Okay.
My memory was different.
Well,
But
I
this,
think
this
that-
time, what I learned was that it's a family movie. Like
Yeah.
this is just a family movie.
Yeah, and
It has horror elements and stuff.
It came
but it's
out
really
pre PG-13, and
Yeah.
and they talked the MPAA down from an R to a PG, and it is a PG movie, man. But like, I feel like that's not inherently a bad thing when it comes to horror. You just have to be creative with it, and I do
Right.
think this movie is.
No, I got to admit, I think both of you raised really good points there. I'm not copping that easily, but I mean, like, I think that's what threw me off, which I didn't
Yeah.
remember about it, and that for me, and the Stranger Things vibe was a negative thing for me, and the family thing did what I guess that was surprising. I remembered it being a little more shocking. I don't know. Maybe it
This
it was
isn't the
when I
Texas
was younger.
Chainsaw Massacre.
No, but like I even remember like the placement of the camera when she turns around and says they're here, like as being more iconic than
It is
did.
iconic.
Yes, but it didn't have
It's the number
kind of-
69 best quote.
Yeah, I just
Henry gave me a high five.
yeah, I still liked it. I owned it. I own it. I was in my collection. But I just I was disappointed by it. I guess I felt like there was more to it, and it's kind of a trifle. And I wasn't
I don't. It
expecting
is
that.
not a trifle. It's a fully formed movie. Like every part of it works, and I didn't find it unhorrifying. I find the part where the one parapsychologist guy rips off his face is like genuinely weird and spooky and gross.
It's
yeah,
very
that,
gross.
that moment
yeah.
is only lightened by the fact that the effects are kind of goofy.
But
and
I think that
you know.
helps it. I think
Yeah,
that
it
I
helps
think
it to stay
I
in
think
that
if that
family
was like
movie.
really gross, if like it turned into
Yeah.
fucking Cronenberg for a second, it would have thrown off the whole tone of the movie.
Right. I think my memories, and maybe Henry's too, of the Poltergeist movies was like it's darker because of maybe the set pieces of the second one.
I
You know,
had never
some of those
seen any of
really-
the sequels before
Really
watching it.
weird,
Oh.
like really kind of gross, horrifying set pieces that are in the second one.
Sure.
Well, and
like the
for
vomit
me,
guy.
the my favorite part of the movie, and this was my favorite part also because the movie really hoodwinked me. Even though I'd seen it multiple times, I completely was totally surprised because I thought the movie was over at around 90 minutes, and when they
Get Carol Ann back.
well, yeah, and
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, and like I checked the time on it, and I was like,
Why don't
we
they
still-
move after that? Or at least, why are the kids still sleeping in the same bedroom?
oh, only one more night. Yeah, I know. But wait,
Go to bed and get tired. We can, they plan on moving later that night. Is what he says.
Jason, you're a little low. Can you turn
yeah,
up?
what happened there?
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here. You just dropped down a little bit. Yeah.
Am I still dropped down there?
Yeah, make it a little louder.
All right, a little louder now.
We need a little more Jason Anthony Harris on this podcast.
A
Yep,
little more
yeah.
me now.
We
I
do.
really hope nobody has to listen to this part, but.
No, this is in the show.
No, but I was.
now, what I was going to say is they're planning on moving later that night. He says, "Oh, just let the kids, if they conk out, that's fine."
Oh, I didn't
They're in
realize
pajamas
that.
and shit, and the mom is like in a robe and taking a long bath. What
Yeah,
are
they look
doing?
pretty settled to me, man.
Yeah.
But that's
They're
what I was
about to
gonna say.
fuck.
Well,
One last fuck in the house.
no, what I was going to say is that for me, I thought when I checked the time and I was like, oh, this has still got like 15 minutes. I guess there's going to be like, I really genuinely thought there's just like a big epilogue of like serenity and peace. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And I thought that was the best part of the movie. I liked all those scares and all that chaos with Joe Beth Williams flying up and down the wall.
That's
and-
great.
Yes, and then all the neighbors coming around, and that was awesome, and that is what for me kind of brought me back into the movie because it really pulled that off because it really makes you think, especially because of Zelda Rubinstein saying this house is clean. I was like, oh, okay, that's it, all right.
Oh,
And it's
well,
not over.
can we talk about that sequence a little bit? Because that's a classic. Zelda Rubinstein showed up. She was nominated for some awards for this part.
I
And
gotta say her. You mind if I say her first line?
go ahead.
Walking through the house, she says, "Y'all mind hanging back? You're jamming my frequency." Loved it. I loved it.
That is dynamite, man.
She is dynamite in this to me. I love her in
She's great.
That
She died.
whole sequence rules, man. She's so confident going up those stairs, yelling out directions to Craig T. Nelson.
round right.
Yo, you're low. You gotta. I don't know what's going on.
Can't hear you, man.
So,
Yeah.
she goes through, like the mom, Jo Beth Williams, goes through this like closet portal, this like mystical convergence to like get Carol Ann, and there's like the rope drops down through the ceiling of the living room, and when she climbs down, there's all this like pink goo everywhere. I was really into that.
It's like jam to me.
It did look like jam, or like gack. Remember gack?
Right. Right.
I will say also when she came back out through the mystical portal, she had developed some gray hair. Did you happen to notice that?
I love that. I dug that. That was very cool.
I like that too, but I'm just saying, if my girl's hair goes gray after passing through a mystical convergence, I'm dumping her.
Oh.
Oh, what a heartless.
You know that, and I think what you brought up about that, I'm glad you brought that up, that sequence with the rope and all that, because I really like that. I guess I'm starting to, talking to you guys, like I'm realizing more and more, like the parts I like about the movie are when it's kind of moving with the horror stuff, and I just didn't get into, unlike the first Exorcist, The Exorcist, where that family felt more real and
What
tighter.
family? Ellen Burstyn and her kid and their fucking weird nanny?
Hold on. That movie I had like a better sense of the way when they talked to each other and their dialogue was more natural. And I just felt like there was too much sort of Spielbergian intrusion onto the way people actually interact. And that was what was bothering me this viewing. And
Henry, some people interact like Steven Spielberg characters. Steven Spielberg's a good writer. He takes from like his weird white suburban Jew life.
But he always
This was
has,
all very familiar to me. Them like eating breakfast while Gene Shalit's on in the background, and like them smoking weed in their bedroom. Everything was so casual and lived in. Like I got the sense that everything this family did in this movie, they've done every day for the last 16 years.
I mean, that may be true, but I guess that just some of it reminds me of, in that domesticated way that he can sometimes do well, but this reminded me a little too much of that sort of ET stuff where it's just a lot. Close Encounters, another movie that I just think suffers greatly.
Yeah, but I love that movie too.
I know you do, and I just think that certain times with Spielberg, a lot of times his scenarios with families, I don't particularly
What
buy.
about the Jaws family?
That has a little bit of it, but it works much better. It works much better in that case.
To me, the films are so different tonally, like The Exorcist and Poltergeist.
Yeah, of course.
Exorcist is
The
a film
Exorcist
that I
is a
do love.
horror movie.
It is a horror film. They're both like in the horror genre, but they're just on complete opposite sides.
Yeah,
of the
Exorcist is
spectrum.
scary. This movie's spooky.
Right. It's
Yeah, this movie, you're right about that. They're on different planes of existence, but
Ooh.
I just didn't think, it just didn't get me like I remembered it used to get me. I was just not getting from it what I thought,
It got me. So all that shit goes down at the end. The only part I don't like is Jo Beth Williams tripping into the pool because, like, she's been such a great character throughout. I always remembered Craig T. Nelson being, like, the lead of this movie, but it's kind of told from the viewpoint of Jo Beth Williams. And
No, it's her.
she's
It's
an
her.
actor I've never really thought about before, but I thought she was fucking great in this movie.
She
And
is great.
And she was good as a mother, and she could be
She's
sexy,
really-
and
yeah.
her concern made you feel for the situation.
Oh my God, I completely felt for her. I feel like
Yeah.
I was on the verge of tears sometimes with her acting.
That's right.
In this like Spielbergian, like fun family movie.
So
Like,
her just
she
like
felt
backing.
viscerally sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she's the one. Spoiler alert. She is my MVP.
Same.
And, oh, really? Okay. Yeah. And I think she was the only one who really brought like an intensity to it. I thought most of them were pretty good, including Zelda, who's a scene stealer. But Jo Beth Williams brought like this intensity to it. You could see her like acting her fucking eyes out, and she's so good. And I only remember her from like fucking like The Big Chill, which is horrible. But she's superb. I really think.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why her tripping into that empty pool at the end, I just felt like it made her look a little dumb.
Right, it's such a horror movie trope of like the woman.
Yeah,
just kind
she's
of
just like backing away, like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose, they just wanted to get to that reveal of all the fucking skeletons and shit.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, but
Disgusting.
And
we
like
can find
that
a more creative way to get there.
It's true. I actually really like that moment too, though, at the end when they have that cool shot of when Craig T. Nelson is taking a walk with James Caron up onto the hill.
Oh, yeah.
That's a neat scene. And see, I like the dialogue in that sequence very much. And it's obviously fucking weird and fishy, but then at the end, when Craig T. Nelson is just like screaming at him as
You
the house
didn't
is
move the bodies!
Yeah, like that's really good.
And
I
that
guess
scene's so great because they pull out and show you the graveyard. Like
Exactly.
they don't show you the graveyard.
Always
for
a
a really
good
long
move to
time
pull
in that
out.
conversation.
Yeah, and I get it. If the whole movie had sort of kept hitting those spots for me, I think I'd be at a 5. But like it was just kind of patchy for me. But
Let's save the Apache talk for the second movie. I liked the coffin popping up in the kitchen, and then the coffin turns around just so everyone can see the corpse, like, "Rah!" And
Indiana Jones action going on
yeah,
there.
but I will say the house collapses in on itself at the end. I think that effect was done better in The Exorcist 2.
Does that
Oh.
happen in
Oh.
Yeah, with the house, it collapses in on itself. Did you watch The Exorcist 2, Jason?
Oh, The Exorcist 2.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah,
of
yeah.
Poltergeist
No,
2.
not
Jesus
Poltergeist
Christ.
2.
No, I haven't seen Exorcist 2. But the sound design on Poltergeist's house collapsing in on itself was amazing.
That's
I
true.
thought
The sound was
fucking
good.
great.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention also, I thought, whilst it had some boring moments, I thought Jerry Goldsmith's score for the most part was quite excellent. And I was wondering if maybe they threw in that Alien poster in there as like,
Oh, shout out to Jerry. Yeah, I wondered that myself, actually.
yeah, it's a
You
good
gotta
score.
put posters up to shout out to all your friends when you
Apparently.
all the posters.
I also like the giant skull monster, where it was just like all of a sudden, like Stone Cold Steve Austin's logo showed up in a closet.
That too. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good. And I was very surprised by something at the end. In my favorite part of the movie, with all that shit happening at once, I completely did not expect that clown, the famous clown. I thought it was all by implication that it comes to life. I did not remember like the puppeteering that they like actually
The long
had it.
arms are spooky, man.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all. So that really was like took me
Steven,
aback.
can you also put a Chewbacca towel on top of the clown, please?
Okay.
We need whatever you think we need, George.
Guys, what do you give this movie?
I'm going 4 stars.
4. 4 from Jason. What about Henry?
Henry's going with a 3.
That's disgusting.
Well, I went
That
into
makes
the.
me sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah, well fuck you. I could have given it a 2, but no. I give it a 3 for Zelda, Jo Beth, and the last half an hour.
I'm giving it
You're
a
sick to your
5.
stomach. Oh, 5. If you're sick to your stomach, you might want to just go, empty everything out real quick.
I'm afraid. I'm
Go
too
have a
afraid
good
of the
vom.
birds. I don't know.
Shut up, bird now. No, it's a 3-star movie. I mean, I think it was mainly for me personally. It was just disappointing. I went into it thinking it was a 5. I had no doubt in my mind, and it just disappointed. But
It is a 5. MVP, Joe Beth Williams.
me too.
I'm sorry, I can't do this in the next film, so I'm going Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh, yeah, you really can't do it in the next film.
No, you can't. But I love her in this film.
Yeah,
She's
she's
so
great.
fun and sassy, and her delivery of all her lines is fucking great. Do you remember when they're about to go into the closet and she's guiding them?
Yes.
She says, like, I have to do this. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the mother says, wait, have you done this before? Like, I should go. I'm her mother. And she goes,
Good
oh,
point.
no, I haven't. You should go.
Yeah,
Very funny. Yeah,
that was
very
great.
good.
Really
Me
great delivery.
and Zelda Rubinstein went to the same college, by the way. I'd like to point that out.
Oh, yeah. You guys have any crazy times together?
Well, we had some times in South Oakland called Southland Tales. That was a movie that was based on Zelda and our own little fun partying at Pitt.
Oh,
Yes,
The Rock
yes,
was playing a character based on you?
no, who's the other dude in that? It was
Justin Timberlake?
Yes, that was loosely
I
based
see.
on 2001 Henry.
Okay, okay. And Sarah Michelle Gellar was playing Zelda Rubinstein.
She looked better when she was younger, Zelda. Trust me.
Who's your LVP?
I had a hard time with LVP.
Not me.
I'm going with the older daughter, I guess.
Oh, get out of here. I
know,
wanted to
and
make
I
out
didn't
with
think
her.
she was that bad. I didn't think she was that bad. I really had a hard time. I should have let you two go first.
Also,
Let's hear
come
your-
on. Don't speak ill of the dead, Jason. She
God,
was
I also
dead
didn't know
less
that.
than a year after this movie was made.
Everybody's dead in these fucking two
I-
films put together.
I think it's mostly for her character because the character's superfluous. Which
You know what, though?
Obviously,
She is superfluous, but I have a way to fix that. You don't need the two little kids. Just have it be Carol Ann and the older daughter. And that's why my LVP is Robert with his disgusting set of teeth. And I just found him very irritating the entire movie.
I have a solution.
I
for
did not
that.
like him talking shit during the bird funeral. Thank you very much.
That's
My
right. You were
solution
too
is
busy.
just to pretend the daughter never existed, the older daughter, and nobody noticed this
The older daughter, I would notice.
in the second film.
Oh, she's away.
They just write her off.
We weren't there yet. Yeah.
Apparently, they wrote a scene explaining that she's away at college, and then they felt weird about her being dead, and so they never even shot it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
HP, what's your LVP?
I have an LVP. It's not going to please anyone, but then that's not what I'm here to do.
You're going to say Craig T. Nelson.
No.
All right.
No, him in this. I thought he was fine. I thought he was good. I feel sorry for Tobe Hooper. I would have liked to have seen his Poltergeist. So
Snore.
Steven Spielberg's getting my LVP.
Fucking snore.
Says you.
Steven
I say-
Spielberg
Stay off
is a
the set,
master.
Steve.
Are you kidding me? Tobe Hooper, he directed one masterpiece. He's got this Poltergeist. Look, whatever happened on the set, this is a 5-star movie. I don't care who directed it. They did a great job.
That's a really great opinion. You don't care who directed it. Well, I would have liked to have seen Hooper's version.
What's the superhero count?
Oh, yes. Not too big, but here we go.
That's what they say about you. It's a dick joke.
I love the clarification. And we got a 4 count. Craig T. Nelson was
You counting
played-
Coach?
You can put that in there if you want. I mean, I didn't include the Incredibles, but I wrote it anyway.
Oh, you should include that. Of course, he's Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, he's Mr. Incredible in The Incredibles, and he was also the unforgettable character Sam from the 70s TV show Wonder Woman with Linda Carter.
Oh, Sam. He was a butcher. He was in a relationship with Alice.
Beatrice Straight, who
Who's that?
played she's the Zelda's sort of like the first parapsychologist.
Oh, yeah.
The one who's
She was
drinking
very good. Yeah, she's got a
She
little
was.
pint. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very funny. I liked her. She was also in the 70s show Wonder Woman. She played Hippolyta. So
Hippolyta, that's like her mom, right? Or
and
someone
you-
on Amazon Island or whatever the fuck.
right, and you can say those Greek names in either way. So thanks for the correction on the pronunciation.
Well, I'm just giving you the pronunciation of the comic book character that she was playing.
Hippolyta.
All right, who's next?
Jobeth William. Jobeth
Jobus.
Jehobath Beach Williams. She was in Batman the Animated Series playing a character named May/June.
Oh, I wonder if it was a Calendar Man storyline.
There you go. One of those great villains.
Mhm.
Finally, James Karen. Daniel, like this. He played Ben Hubbard, old Ben Hubbard, but all of his scenes were deleted in Superman Returns.
Okay, he wasn't good enough to be in that wonderful film.
He was too good, so they said, we got to make this fully on shitty. Take him out.
All right, can we talk about Poltergeist 2, The Other Side?
Yeah.
Okay. Other Side, by the way. Great Red Hot Chili Peppers song, am I right?
Not a fan.
No?
What was that from?
Californication. That song
Oh,
was a hit, bro.
I was out by that time. I was out.
How's it go?
I was out after Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic, man.
How long will I slide?
That one's awful.
That's Other Side, baby.
Oh no.
What about the song On the Other Side by The Strokes? You prefer that?
I guess. Not crazy about him either.
Okay.
I'm a snob.
You are. That's why we like you. Poltergeist.
I liked our divergences on that first movie. I wanted to state for the record, I'm very surprised. I didn't think Dan would like it as much as he did. And Jason came somewhere in the middle. That was a very unusual experience.
Yeah,
I didn't
a
think
3,
I
a
would like
4,
it.
and a 5.
Where did you think, Dan? Where did you think I was going to come in before we started recording? Did you think I was?
I thought you'd be higher than a 3, but I very quickly realized that you were gonna give some wrong opinions tonight.
Oh, you did. You
Yeah.
did. So it hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Tobe Hooper's nowhere to be found, and Spielberg is gone. But we've got Brian Gibson, the noted director Brian Gibson, taking over. He was known for his black biopics in the early 90s, the Josephine Baker Story, which won a couple of Emmys.
Because he was married. He was
Married to Lynn Whitfield, the great Lynn Whitfield, yeah, who's the best part of that movie. And he also directed What's Love Got to Do with It, the Tina Turner biopic.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen that actually.
I have, it's good. Angela Bassett,
yeah.
great, yeah.
Right.
And then The Juror, one of the great shitty thrillers of the 90s with
I
Demi
have
Moore.
seen that. Yes, I've seen that. Yes.
With your friend Alec Baldwin giving one of his great performances.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. It's as good as his impression of Trump. Okay, Brian Gibson directed. Grace and Victor came back to write because we needed them. And this was released May 23rd, 1986. Just 2 months before I was born. And
Wow.
a budget of $19 million, which is fucking big for 1986.
Yeah.
And the box office of $40.9 million, not that hot. It came in at number 20 at the box office for 1986. Did a little bit worse than Peggy Sue Got Married and a little bit better than Short Circuit, which I watched recently, and that does not hold up.
Really?
Yeah,
Does it
that's a
not?
piece of shit, man.
I wouldn't think it did. I mean, I saw it. In
I thought it would
theaters
be
when
like
I was
a fun
kid, but-
80s romp. It's
Right.
horrible.
Yeah. Steve the Gutenberg, right?
Yeah, Henry, how do you feel about Fisher Stevens in Brownface in that movie? You into that character?
I think that he does a good representation of playing a white Pakistani man.
Sure.
does he have like an accent in that and everything?
He has an accent. He's got a skin tone
does he
change.
have an
Oh
accent?
yeah, big time.
Ooh.
He's basically
All I
saying,
said was
"Apu."
leave Gandhi alone. Yeah, fucking prick.
All right. It was nominated for an Oscar.
We already heard it once.
Okay, fine. It was nominated for the Best Visual Effects Oscar. It lost to Aliens. Fine. And it was nominated for a Golden Raspberry.
Fuck. All right. All right. Golden raspberries. That's awesome. That's awesome news.
Oh God.
I didn't know that. But here you go.
It's the raspberry, no razzmatazz. All we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
Okay, great stuff. Zelda Rubinstein nominated for Worst Supporting Actress.
That's not very
Come
fair.
on. No.
And she lost to Dom DeLuise, who was in drag in the movie Haunted Honeymoon.
I read that. I remember reading that now.
Wow.
Great stuff. Have either of you seen Haunted Honeymoon?
No.
Nor have I,
Unfortunately
but
not.
it's a good
No.
title.
Haunted honeymoon.
I would
It
watch
is a
a
good
movie
title.
called Haunted Honeymoon. I'm a little concerned by Dom DeLuise in drag. 1986 list. Do you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Honorable mentions for me include Ruthless People, Cobra, and True Stories. Anyone
Alright.
else want to throw some out there?
Yeah, I got Sid and Nancy and The Mission.
Wow.
I have Sid and Nancy, A Room with a View, and River's Edge.
And Blockbuster would like to bring up Stand By Me, Something Wild. Offbeat is an understatement for this movie, but it's always entertaining and well acted. Ruthless People, Midler is a Riot. All right. And A Room with a View, which is the gorgeous settings and top-notch performances make this a sight to behold. All right.
I gotta
Yeah, that-
say, just for the listeners, seeing Dan pull out the book, The Greatest Movies of All Time, Blockbuster Video, is probably my favorite part of recording this episode so
Yeah.
far.
He's holding it like an orator is pulling. He's like
I have
he's like
to 'cause
William
the
Jennings Bryan
Oh, let me
delivering
just
the cross
console-
of
let me just
gold.
console-
pages are falling out. I have to be careful the way I hold it.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Jason, what's your number 10 for 86?
Okay.
The year of my birth.
My number 10 is a very disturbing film. I don't recommend anyone watch it. It's called In a Glass Cage.
Nicolas Cage in that?
No, it's not a Nicolas Cage biopic.
So what is it? I don't know that movie.
It's I think it's an Italian film, I want to say. It's like this young man finds the person who tortured him during the war and then starts torturing him. It's not really like a torture porn movie, though. It kind of predates that, but it's a weird, disturbing film, but it made quite an impression. So.
Okay. Henry?
Wow. Jesus Christ.
And don't watch it.
I kind of want to. It's a good premise.
All right. My number 10 is 9.5 weeks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, let's cover that soon. You know what I just discovered recently? I always knew there was a sequel called Another 9.5 Weeks. Did you guys know there's a prequel called The First 9.5 Weeks?
No.
Yeah.
First Purge?
What's that? Yeah, The First Purge, exactly.
Yeah, because Angie Everhart's in the second one, right?
Yeah, I don't know who's in the third one. Probably Jamie Presley. I feel like she was in a
There
lot
you
of those.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Drew Barrymore. What's number 10, Henry? Oh, you said it. My number 10 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Blockbuster's number 10 is Platoon.
Ooh.
Yeah, the other star of this film is the explosive battle footage, which will shake all who see it. Okay.
It is shaking.
Number 9,
Shit.
Jason.
Number 9 is Labyrinth.
Oh, you got low again. I don't know what's going on. He said Labyrinth, though.
With me. I got all this top-of-the-line recording equipment over here.
It's probably just Skype.
Henry made the beautiful...
It's better than our shit, I'll tell you that.
I hear.
Number 9. Boy, I'm afraid to say it. It's been a more
You
contentious.
should have put 9.5 weeks at number 9.
That's a good point. It's on the 9.5 floor. Number 9 is The Golden Child.
Oh, fuck that movie. You know, I watched Big Trouble in Little China recently, and that made The Golden Child even worse, because it's kind of the same movie, but like
They have
good.
a lot of similarities to them. Yes. Yeah.
All right, my number 9, and you can make fun of me all you want, is Stand By Me. And Blockbuster has decided it is My Beautiful Laundrette. Racism, bigotry, and economics are issues melded into the relationships and handled with honesty and intelligence, thanks to an Oscar-nominated script. Yeah, that's a great movie. Day-Lewis making out with a Pakistani kid.
Is it a white man dressed as a Pakistani
No,
kid?
all Pakistani actors in that film, baby.
It's not Ben Kingsley?
It is not Ben Kingsley, no.
Oh.
It's one of the...
Saeed Jaffrey. Or, no, it's actually Gordon Warnecki, but he's Pakistani. Okay, number 8. Who do we got? Jason.
Number 8 is Almodovar's Matador.
I've never gone that deep back in Almodovar.
Highly recommended Almodovar.
Okay.
It's like highly influenced by like Italian slasher films of
Oh.
the 70s.
Giallo kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's really fun.
All right. I like that. The earliest one I've seen, I think, is Women on the Verge,
I haven't seen
etc.
that yet.
Yeah, that's good. It's hard to find, though. I tried to rewatch it and couldn't find it anywhere. Henry, what's...
Netflix DVD?
DVD. Get out of here. Henry, what's number 8?
Number 8 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
All right. My number 8 is Aliens. And Henry, Blockbuster's number 8 is a song called Mona Lisa.
Yes,
where
I've
they
seen
say
it.
that the Genesis song In Too Deep underlies one of the recent cinema's most piercing moments.
I've seen that movie. Bob Hoskins and what the fuck is her name?
Kathy Tyson, and
Kathy
also
Tyson.
Michael Caine in that movie there.
Right, of course. Yeah, it's a really boring movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neil Jordan's
All right.
usually boring. What's
No.
No, of course he's boring unless like a dick pops up at the end. Jason, what's number 7?
Number 7 is She's Gotta Have It.
Oh yeah, baby.
Nice.
Yes. So good.
Yeah,
So good.
masterpiece. Right out of the gate with a masterpiece from Spikula. Henry, what's number 7?
Number 7 is Manhunter.
What a masterpiece that is. My number 7 is The Fly.
Can't argue that.
And Blockbuster says that number 7 is Jean de Florette, Manon of the Spring. Breathtaking cinema from France. Ooh. And that's a sequel situation. We could cover those.
It's 2 movies. It's actually a part of a trilogy that ended with My Father the Hero.
Great
'cause it's,
stuff.
Gerard Depardieu.
I love
Yeah.
My Father the Hero. I wish we could cover that.
Well,
I watch My Father the Hero like once a year. Number 6, Jason.
Number 6 is Aliens.
Yep.
nice.
H-Dog.
Yeah, it's the first pick of Jason's I've heard of, so that's cool. Number 5 and a heavy
6.
hitter. What's
Number
that? Sorry.
6.
Number 6, thank you. Blue Velvet.
Okay. My number 6 is She's Gotta Have It. And Blockbuster chooses Hannah and Her Sisters. It's a cornucopia of wit and wisdom from one of America's most cherished writers and directors.
Whoops. Whoops the doozle.
Great
All
stuff.
right.
Number 5.
Well,
All right, heavy hitters. Jason?
Number 5 is another movie I'm sure Henry's really familiar with. This is called The Sacrifice. It's by Tarkovsky.
Oh, yes, very
Yeah.
familiar.
I don't know
Very
that one
good.
either.
One of your faves.
Yes, da.
No.
Yes.
Henry, number 5?
Number 5 is the equally artistic The Fly.
And my number 5 is Jim Jarmusch's Down by Law.
Yeah.
All right. But, Henry, you're on the same page as Blockbuster. Number 5, The Fly.
Yeah.
This chilling remake is not for the squeamish. Great stuff.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's still hard to look at. I'll say that.
All right, number 4, Jason.
Number 4 is Mona Lisa.
Oh.
That's right. I like it.
Really?
A lot.
Do you? All right. Fair enough. All right.
I do.
All right.
I just rather see the painting in the Uffizi than the actual movie.
Henry, did you know that if you look close at that painting, she's smiling a little bit?
I never thought she was smiling.
Henry, what's number 4?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay, my number 4 is Sid and Nancy. And Blockbuster has decided that number 4 is The Color of Money. Yep.
That's actually been on our list for quite a long time to cover at some point.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the surprise of The Color of Money is Tom Cruise, a recent graduate of advanced scene stealing.
Wow. Isn't that something? I didn't know that was a major. All right.
Yeah, it's in the Church of Scientology. It's one of the courses you could take.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. AP. All right.
All right, number 3.
Number 3 is I recently learned that Blue Velvet, my number 3, was filmed the same year as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh.
Our friend, Jesus Christ, can I think of this actor's name right now? He's in both in the same year, and he gives a batshit performance in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Blue Velvet.
Oh, Dennis Hopper?
Yeah, it's Dennis Hopper.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, good God, my mind.
That's quite all right. Henry, number 3.
My number 3.
I can't
Worth
do
it
this
for the
anymore.
worth it for the reactions alone. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Oh,
Alien.
yeah. All right. My number 3 is Manhunter. It's just you and me now, sport. And Blockbuster says Children of a Lesser God. This moving drama takes us into the deaf world with Karen Grace. The deaf world.
The deaf world?
Yeah.
That's how they put it?
Yes.
Same world.
Yeah, it is the same. Is it a different planet?
Yeah.
That's a great movie, by the by.
The world. Well, yeah, I love Marlee Matlin. She's great.
Did you see it? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I
Either
saw
of you?
it. I saw it a while back.
William Hurt. It's good.
I don't remember it that much. I just remember Marlee Matlin's great. Number 2, Jason and Speak Up.
Number 2 is Down by Law.
Oh, hell yeah. Down by Law. You're low. I don't know what the hell's going on with your system
I
over
really
there,
don't
man.
either. My apologies to
Nah,
everyone.
and it's just it goes up and down. It's
How
we haven't
annoying.
had a guest in a while. It's fine. Henry 2.
Platoon.
Oh no! Did you put that at number 2 because it's got the word 2 in the title?
Only as I was saying it out loud did I realize I could make the pun.
Okay. My number 2 is Hannah and Her Sisters. And Blockbuster says Blue Velvet, a highly unusual film that breaks convention in plot and execution. Hopper is riveting as a deadly psycho. All right. Number 1, what's the
They're so
best?
perceptive.
They are.
Yeah.
Best of 86. Go ahead.
My number 1 is by one of America's most beloved directors, Hannah and Her Sisters.
And that's yours too, Henry?
That is correct.
All right. I did a switch last time we did the list. My number 1 is now Blue Velvet. And Blockbuster's number 1 is Aliens. This sequel to Alien outdoes its predecessor in acting, set design, special effects, and nonstop chills and thrills.
Yeah, I don't care for the wording, but I'm happy with the placement. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. James Cameron proves once again he's a gifted action director.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. All right, gang, let's talk about it. Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. I had never seen it, and I wish this movie didn't exist.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd seen it. I remember not much about it, but I do remember Julian Beck.
Okay.
And
Imagine a world.
Jesus out of me.
Who's
Yeah.
scared? Oh, Kane?
Yes. Good
Sure,
God.
when you're a
I saw
kid,
this when
yeah.
I was a kid, and
Yeah.
it still remains creepy as fuck to me to this day. I love
it
his
is.
performance.
He is creepy.
I love the gentle southern accent, being creepy.
Mm-hmm. Like Henry.
And he looks like a fucking corpse.
Ooh, you're back. You sound great now.
Oh,
Okay.
wonderful. I did absolutely nothing.
Listen, but imagine a world where Poltergeist 2 has not yet been made, okay?
Mhm.
Think about the development of this movie. All right, we got to make a sequel to Poltergeist. What do people want to see? Why make a sequel to to Poltergeist?
Indians. We gotta put Indians because it's an Indian burial ground, and we've got.
But it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. It's not.
One
even
of the things I liked about the first one is that
Yes.
it's not an Indian burial ground.
Right.
It's just a
burial
burial ground, right?
Yeah, you're right. And this movie like retroactively fucking makes you think about that, and I agree. Yeah, all of a sudden Stephen King got a hand in it, and
Yes.
we're on. Yeah,
I turned this movie on. I didn't really read about the plot or anything. It's got this beautiful opening, like this over like a plane shot. It would be a drone shot today of Monument Valley, and then we pan down, and it's two Native Americans, and they're talking about mystical stuff by a fire, and
Written by white people.
big
So
time.
This is white people's writing.
Yeah.
What Native Americans believe and are always terrible.
So Henry, I'm worried.
Oh, I knew as soon as the movie opened, the first thought that went through my head before anything was like, Dan's out. He's fucking out. It's over for him. Unless it has some miraculous fucking recovery, I don't know how. Dan is out on this whole movie.
I tried not to be out. Now, this is the cold open the Native Americans are showing up in, so I was like, maybe it's just the cold open, all right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thunderheart.
Yeah, so then
Yeah.
we go to the family. Great. That's what I want to see.
Yes.
All right, so you got Craig T. Nelson's there. Jo Beth Williams is there. You got little Carol Ann in the last, 3 years of her life. And you've got the annoying son. By this point, the older daughter's already dead. So they're having an argument. Why can't we just buy a TV? Which is cute, right? Because they threw out the TV because Carol Ann gets sucked
was
into it, right? That's a nice little touch.
At
And
the end of the
that's
first one, I like that, by the
last
way.
scene of the first one.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful,
great.
Funny.
Great.
Yeah,
the
he-
way that
he
wheels
pushes
out
the TV. Yeah.
from
That's
the
great.
Hotel room.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so great. But then the little boy says, "Why can't we get a TV? Thanks for not buying one. I guess I'll just have to grow up retarded."
Right.
And Craig T. Nelson responds, "You won't grow up retardo."
Right.
And
Now,
I'm
with
thinking, who wrote this? Why would these lines were put down on paper?
Yeah. Now, you made it sound like he was calling his son retardo, but I think Craig T. Nelson, I think when I heard, because I was definitely paying attention for that, and I think Nelson fucked up the line and meant to say, "You won't grow up retarded." And
that's it. He didn't fuck it up. That's what he says. He just doesn't say retarded. He says retardo.
but not directing it at his son, just kind of like, "You won't grow up retardo."
Yeah, that's what he says.
Well, you made it sound like, "You won't grow up retardo."
All right, sorry. I didn't mean to put a fucking invisible comma in that sentence.
Inflection is everything.
All right, so then we find out who they're living with. And it's Jo Beth Williams' mom who has telepathic powers.
God,
Yeah.
of course she does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the charm of the first one. This is a normal family, and remember when weird shit started happening, they were like blown away by it. Like, this is the craziest thing that has ever happened to us. What, they wouldn't have been acting like why didn't she just call her mom in the first movie and be
Right.
like, Carol Ann got sucked into the TV, any tips?
Mom, it's Diane. I figured you had some experience with this. I think it passed a generation, but Carol Ann's got that ability you have. Nope, but we have it now.
Yeah, it's not like the mom didn't know about it. It seems like just a regular fact of this family. Like, it seems like a date one revelation. Like, well, I grew up, my mom's a telepath, my dad ran away. And I could not wait for this character to die. And it happened early, and it still wasn't soon enough.
Not early
She
enough,
she did die. Yeah, I didn't really see that coming. Not that I was looking for it or anything.
I mean,
much,
nothing. It wasn't really a big moment. She died in bed. She passed
Yeah.
away overnight.
Very odd. Then she calls Carol,
And then
Ann
the
on
mom
her
tried to
toy phone.
flush her down the toilet. Right, the toy phone. The ghosts can't get at them through the TV in this movie because they threw all the TVs out. So there's like the toy phone, and there's like a little robot guy that starts talking at one point that I like.
Yeah. They utilize toys and various appliances to terrify the family. Not a very powerful ghost, I have to say. I don't know if in Poltergeist
No, this ghost
I would be-
sucks so bad that Kane just shows up at the porch, here to haunt you.
Right.
Can I come in? And they're like, no, and he's like, all right, I'll come back.
Yeah. He gives
laughing,
Craig.
but I love that fucking scene, and I think he's so fucking scary in that scene.
No, he is. That actor is good.
It's-
I
he
like
is.
the scene where they just run into him at the mall, and he's walking through people.
That is fucking weird. Yeah.
I gotta say something about the family.
Please.
Alright, the family who I enjoyed so much in the first one. In this one, this was a little bit of a problem in the first, but the wife thinks that the husband is fucking just Robin Williams or something. She is laughing at everything he says, she is dying for everything he says.
Here's a problem.
It's driving me fucking
It's
nuts.
because we're really pushing Craig T. Nelson in this movie. I don't know if Coach
Yeah.
had started by this point, but his star power must have risen. And this is a problem I have, and we've talked about it before on the podcast when we did The Exorcist and when we talked about Terminator, where there seemed to have been a period of time in the late 70s and early 80s where it was okay to put a woman at the center of a genre film. So Jo Beth Williams in Poltergeist is the star of the movie. She absolutely has more screen time and more importance to the plot than Craig T. Nelson does. In this movie, she kind of has importance to the plot because they're living in her mother's house or whatever, but it is a Craig T. Nelson vehicle.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
and he's not charming like he is in the first one. He is angry. He's like an angry early Homer Simpson.
And frequently shirtless, which I didn't appreciate.
Yeah, it's really a bizarre performance. I mean, I guess the writing, is,
the
is
writing-
culprit too.
At one point, they have this conversation about how one time early in their relationship, Craig T. Nelson cheated on Jo Beth Williams with some woman named Cookie.
Wait,
Was it cheating or was it just?
I didn't get that.
I thought it was just an earlier fling he had or something.
What early fling? They had their daughter when she was 16.
That's right.
What's the line? What's the conversation?
It goes on forever.
So talking about some sexy girl, and she's like, "Oh, you liked her?"
Oh, okay. I didn't take that as cheating, but yeah, I guess if they consummated the relationship when they were 16, then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Nelson might have been fucking for a few years before 16. You never know.
You don't know. You don't. He was coach. He was
Mhm.
coaching it.
Yeah. He put his hand in that cookie jar, baby. All right. What happens now? Oh, the Native American guy shows up, Taylor. And he shows up at the door like the morning after the grandmother passes away. And he goes, "Your grandma passed him away. And I'm here to teach you the ways of the Native Americans so that you can fight them against the mystical qualities that you possess. Can I teach you? Can I take you to the desert and teach you the ways of the breath of life? So if you encounter some sort of weird exploding ghost, you can breathe some sort of special effect on it, and you can."
We hang out. We do ayahuasca together in
Yeah.
the desert.
Please
Later on, you'll throw up. It'll be fine.
make sure you take 'em off your shirt so that I can look upon your beautiful, glistening chest hair.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, a lot of things don't make sense. But the beginning is the Native American guy, Taylor, with his, his other Native American friend. And they're talking about spirits or something. What is he telling him? Like, oh, you have to go save these white people. There's some white people in trouble.
Yeah, they're in
You gotta
fucking
go help 'em.
Monument Valley.
Yeah,
Like,
what is that?
get on your horse and go to California and make sure you scalp the ghosts in Cuesta Verde.
That almost sounds like a Nicolas Cage impression, I have
It
to
kind
say.
of does.
Yeah, doesn't it? Oh my God. Say put the bunny back in the box.
Put the bunny back in the box. No, I am evacuates ghosts. That's my name. Evacuates ghosts.
He who evacuates ghosts.
Could you imagine Nicolas Cage in there instead of Craig T. Nelson? That would be. I think
Bro,
we'd have a blend.
Yeah.
this would be a masterpiece.
There
Yo,
you
make
go.
Nick Cage the Native American guy.
Perfect.
Henry's on board.
Henry's
am.
very on board.
I'm all for that kind of stuff. I dig it, man. I dig it. But you know who Will Sampson is?
No, if
you guys?
Nicolas Cage was playing that character, you just know we'd be getting an.
Oh God, he wouldn't be able to resist it.
There'd be headdress and all kinds of
Oh
shit.
yeah, big headdress.
Peyote.
You do a rain dance at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Did you guys recognize the fucking Will Sampson,
He
man?
looked familiar.
Who?
The Native American fella.
No, I don't care.
I don't care. It's fucking. Come on, Chief. Come on, Chief. Tell him to put on the ball game.
In what?
Yeah.
What's that
One
a
flew
reference
over
to?
the cuckoo's
Oh,
nest.
Oh, wow.
That's Chief, man.
All right,
Yeah.
well, he's my LVP. Fuck that character.
Oh.
I fucking hated that character.
I didn't.
Your
He was
car
fine.
is angry. I think you need to talk to your car and make it feel more comfortable with you.
Hey, look, it's a shitty movie. That guy didn't write his fucking lines. I'm
No.
not blaming him.
I didn't like the performance. I didn't like the character. I didn't like anything about it.
Too bad, because he's my MVP.
Get the fuck out of
That's
here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
He's because it wasn't a lot to choose from. I don't think, I wanted to give Joe Beth, but they really write her down.
I agree.
They really don't give her much to do. And Nelson's pretty insufferable. The kids forget it. So Will Sampson.
Kids, forget it. I did think the boy wasn't as annoying in this movie. It helped that he had braces, so I knew he was working on the problem that I had with him in the first one. And the braces attack was probably my
Right.
favorite moment in the
That
movie.
was
That
cool.
scene is great.
Yeah.
That's the
That
thing.
was
This
cool.
is not a movie. It's just a collection of set pieces.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
The set
Absolutely.
pieces are really cool, but
They are.
they just exist
Wait,
in
wait,
and of
wait, wait.
themselves.
A couple of them are cool.
Okay,
What's
not
cool?
all
The
of them, but a
braces
few of
attack
them are
is great. What else is good?
The braces scene, you said?
Yeah, the
scene
only
where
good ones are the
throw
braces
up?
and the throw up. Yes.
The throw up is amazing. The fucking creepy monster thing that kind of starts growing into
Yes.
that thing without limbs is
Yeah,
Well,
that
across
was
the floor.
very cool.
Craig
That was
T. Nelson is drinking that mezcal, and
Yeah.
he there's a worm in it, right?
With a little eyeball.
That is fucking Cronenberg style right there, man. That shit was bizarre. I did not expect.
No, you're right. It was like what's the one? Slither, the one that Slither's based on.
Yeah.
Shivers.
Oh, yeah, Shiver's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
It's good. Check it out.
So
Yes, it
that
is.
mescal worm makes him try to rape his wife, which I didn't care for. I
starts doing-
hate meaningless rapes in movies.
Right.
There's nothing I hate more.
And he starts doing like kind of the bad impression of Kane, of Julian Beck.
He's evil
Was
Superman.
he doing an impression, or were they ADRing his lines?
No, he was
No.
he was doing an impression. It
Okay.
was his
That-
voice.
Yeah, that was definitely Nelson just repeating Julian Beck's lines.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he vomits up this big slimy creature, and that thing looked dynamite.
Yeah, I actually thought some of the set piece effects were. I mean, it is 4 years later. They're better than in the first one.
Or they're more horrifying. They're more like over
some
the top.
of it, but there's
They
also
look-
way more like computery stuff in this one. Like there's a lot of like people like shooting force powers at each other.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't Nelson at one point repel one of the ghosts by just like?
Yeah, that's the big breath move that he learns from the Native American
As he
at the
smoked the
fire
peace
in the
pipe.
woods. He did.
Right.
Smoke 'em the peace pipe and breathe the breath of eternal angel life into the ghosts. Yeah.
It's like the lost scripts of Andrew Jackson or something. The depiction of Native Americans in here. It's very strange.
I mean, it's no different from Dances with Wolves, let's be honest.
Oh.
All right. I like the vomit creatures. I like the vomit creatures' little legs. They were cute. He had like those little
stumps,
tendrils.
tiny like tendril stumps.
Adorable.
Really. And he looks over at them and he kind of grins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
The actor who plays the vomit monster on his IMDb page, his like profile picture is him as the vomit monster, which I
No,
love.
it's
Yes,
not.
I swear to God.
Wow.
With the little grin.
I think he's making more of a serious face in the pic. Yeah.
How did he? I know Zelda Fitzgerald's a little person, but how did the actor who played the vomit monster fit inside of that bottle?
Oh God, fuck you.
Like that would be hard. I feel like he really went all out for that.
Yeah. He got in there.
Did get in there all right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a contortionist, like that Asian fella from Ocean's 11.
There you go.
Yeah.
Geraldine Fitzgerald, who is, or I'm sorry, I'm getting the name wrong. What's
Geraldine Fitzgerald. Aw.
that's the grandmother, rather. Rubenstein.
Zelda.
Zelda.
Her name's
She-
Tangina, by the way. Which-
China, exactly. I've been avoiding saying that all night.
Nope, Tangina. Now, what does that translate to?
She's so charming. In the first one, once again, she's my MVP in the first one. She's so annoying in this one. She's kind of like underwritten. She just kind of pops in.
Early in it, yeah.
Well, because they just knew what they had at this point.
Yeah,
Like she's such
right.
she's such a charming cameo in the first one, and in this one, she's like all over the movie. They keep cutting away to her, like, "Hey, we got her back. Remember her? You liked her."
Oh, they do the whole thing where the mother thinks someone's at the door and she's all creeped out. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Goes over to the door and she looks out.
Whoops.
No one there.
Oh, that's right.
Opens
Yeah,
The door.
down here.
Yeah.
I didn't like Craig T. Nelson. Craig T. Nelson at one point calls her the Magic Munchkin, and I did not like. I whenever I hear a line like that,
derogatory comments all over this
I'm
movie.
just like, there's
with
an
the Indian
actress.
and with
That's a
her.
person. Like
Yeah.
she's.
Well, the Indian too. He's a Native American person, and he's making all kinds of fucking inappropriate jokes about him too.
Yeah, except I was agreeing with all of them.
Yeah, but it's 1986. I don't think that Native Americans could vote yet, so it's not really full men.
What, is that true?
No.
Okay.
Is that true?
I don't
Wow.
fucking know. So it all ends on the other side, the titular other side, where the whole family goes into this like vortex while the Native American guy like plays them in on some hand drums or some shit. and they have to find Carol Ann again. And they're all hanging on to each other, and then all of a sudden the fucking grandma shows up like this like beautiful ghost from the light and saves Carol Ann from oblivion.
It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And
so proof of heaven in this film.
Very much so. Very much so. And I wanted to get you guys' opinion because next week when we'll be covering Poltergeist 3,
the other side.
The name Carol Ann. So it's said approximately 142 times in these two movies put together.
Carol Ann.
Yeah. Wait till you get to the third one.
She's still alive in the third one?
Preview of
Yeah,
next week.
she lives for a third one. Yeah,
I think that's her last film, the third one.
I think it is. Yeah.
How many films was she making?
That was it. These three. That's it. That's all she was ever
made
in.
some other things.
I don't. Maybe television. I don't think she was in any.
Oh, okay, maybe some TV.
What's
Yeah.
Carol Ann? Let's look up this
Heather
actress.
O'Rourke.
That's her name, Heather O'Rourke?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's she in?
Fuck, I thought you were looking it up.
I thought you were.
We got
No,
three
no,
of us here, and none of us are looking it up.
I'm looking it up.
I mean, she's in these three movies.
Oh, she died from a misdiagnosis, gang.
I know.
That's
It's awful.
horrible.
Weird stomach problems or something.
That's right.
Yeah, the only three movies she's in are the Poltergeist films, but she was in 12 episodes of Happy Days, I'll tell you that much.
12 episodes of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
not bad. Probably a late addition, when they add a cute kid in like late seasons of shit.
Right. Hey, oh.
Like Cousin Oliver on the Brady Bunch. Second Brady Bunch reference I've made in this episode.
Is it?
Yeah, I referenced Sam the Butcher before.
I don't think Jason and I knew what the fuck you
That's
were talking.
okay.
I feel like the Brady Bunch watching you guys on the Skype here.
Oh yeah, because it's like the
Oh, you're right, yeah.
bring in somebody else. We can have a whole thing.
Yeah.
12 people on here. Yeah.
We're doing visual humor. Oh my god.
Right here. Oh.
Oh,
They're gonna love this week.
that was great stuff.
I'm excited for our visuals that we're enjoying. That's what we're doing this week, folks. We're having fun with blocks. Yep.
All right, so they save Carol Ann, and then Taylor's like, "I think your car wants to come home with me." And
Little joke by Will Sampson.
Craig T. Nelson lets him have it, and then they're like, "Wait, we need a ride!" And they run after the. Yeah. Oh right, his name is Taylor.
God.
That's the movie, gang.
It's pretty bad. It's not the worst sequel we've ever covered.
Of course
I'm
not. Not even close.
No. But it's pretty bad.
It's a 2.
I agree. Actually, I was pretty sure you were going to go 1.
I just can't believe you make Poltergeist 3 and Poltergeist 2 a 2. Like they're not that close.
Well, here's the thing with Poltergeist. And this was my dilemma. I will watch this movie probably for the rest of my life, Poltergeist, but I just on this particular viewing was not feeling a 4 or 5. And that's just how I feel about it. I feel it's a good film. It's just not the classic that I remember it being. That's all.
Will you ever watch Poltergeist 2 again?
No, I actually won't.
No, me neither.
And I wouldn't have said that before our show because I'd only seen it like once many times, many years ago, but it's pretty bad. What about you there, Jace?
I would just watch Julian Beck because I love those scenes. He scares the shit out of me. I would show that to someone who had never seen it before, and then they wouldn't have to watch the rest of the movie. It's the kind of thing I would just like YouTube maybe the throw up scene and the Julian Beck scene.
My
and you
MVP
guys-
is the throw up monster.
The Mezcal Man.
Yeah.
You guys talked me down to it too, because I was going 3 just because the things that I enjoy in it I like a lot, but
as a whole, no, this is a 2. And I watched these backwards because I had seen
Poltergeist
I-
recently.
Yeah, I'd seen Poltergeist recently, so I went back and watched 2 first and then the first.
Oh
And-
my!
And the like the discrepancy of quality between the two was even more
It's
obvious
vast.
watching them that way. Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Did
so,
I guess you didn't get the rider in the contract when you appear on the show that you're not allowed to watch the second movie before you watch the first one. I guess you didn't you missed that. Is that
Well,
what happened?
I'd watched these like maybe a year ago. I thought it was a few months ago, but I was looking at my lists and stuff. I watched these probably about a year ago,
Boy, time sure does fly.
which is recent.
All right, who's everybody's MVP besides the Vomit Monster? I mean, you can pick him too. Don't let me stop you.
Henry,
No,
what do you got?
I'm picking the Chief.
Ugh, right. All right, what about you?
Oh, that's right. I'm going with Julian Beck. No contest.
All right, that's fine. LVP, who's it going to be?
You know, I don't particularly care for my LVP as an LVP, but when I was watching the movie when it was over, I realized that his character is actually quite superfluous in terms of any other appearance in the movie, and it's Julian Beck.
Oh, stop it. He's the antagonist.
He's
But only he's got 2 scenes, and
yeah,
then-
but
they
they're good.
flash back. Yeah, but he's a monster. a
Oh,
lot of the
yeah,
time,
that's
and then
right.
they-
It turns out he was a fucking cult leader for
yeah,
no...
which is great. They
Yeah.
show
Oh,
him
that's
like
true. That's true.
preaching.
I forgot
underground
about
in
the
that
cult.
cave to all the people.
Right, and he told everybody the world was going to come to an end, and then he
Yeah.
just, like, let everybody die.
Love
I
it.
forgot about the Jim Jones subplot
Yeah.
there. Oh, all right, scratch it. You're right. He's got a little more meaning than I was assigning to him. So LVP, let's go with the Craigers then.
Oh, God. Craig T. Nelson, LVP, that Native American guy, MVP. This is fucking opposite day on the podcast. What about you?
LVP? I'm going Geraldine Fitzgerald, which is the grandmother.
Oh, fucking fine, dude. She'd be my second choice.
She looks creepy sometimes when she's supposed to be like a sweet grandmother.
She looks creepy
She
when
has a-
she's rescuing Carol Ann at the end.
Yeah, I'm not into her. I thought a grandmother played better, or with a different actress could have lent some heart maybe to the film, but
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah. Put Doris Roberts in this movie.
Jenna Rollins.
She'd be good. All right. What do we got? Superhero count?
0.
Great. Love to hear it.